one just to make Nico Baby's going to struggle a bit because once he gets some points up in the armor, Seb, he's not really going to care about the damage that Weaver's outputting, and thus he can kind of just play up in his face. Weaver's got pretty low base armor. I love the DK pick. I think it was the best pick of the draft. It basically said we have a super tanky stunner that you can't do anything to. You can find any of your squishy cores out.
And sort of the overall game, how does it look for a carry Weaver? You know, is this a game where Nico Baby's going to have a lot of difficulties ahead of him when you see what he's playing into?
I legitimately don't know what item build he's going to go for. Like, I would lean towards Maelstrom SNY because you have a lot of enablers to keep you alive, and you just need to survive through the disables that Seb's going to dish out with maybe like a quick follow-up from the Grimstrokes. But he might just have to go for that early BKB, and if you've got a Wisp behind you and a Beastmaster Orb buffing you up, that's just not what I would deem like a feel good. You know, you're excited to go BKB second item on Weaver.
I think one thing that's definitely going to be fun to keep our eyes on this game when we look over to the carry of OG, Mid-One on his Ember. But we've seen it from Mid-One in these games. He likes to bring something a little new to the table sometimes with his builds. Do you think there's going to be any sort of inventive items coming out from Mid-One this game?
I would be pleasantly surprised if he goes for the Boot to Travel Midas.
On the Ember, let's go. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be a Desolator. I would like to see as his like damage item. They've got a lot of magic damage, and they've also got low armor force. Weaver starts with 3 or 4. Puck starts with about 0, and he can really make it so that they just get blown up before they can even react.
See bottom again, just sort of 7 seconds. Actually getting a lot of damage done here. Opening with the Dragon Tail, and still no points to the passive, just going full on the offensive here, Seb. Turn the breath and the setup, of course, with the stun. CS though down bottom. Seeing Nico Baby not have any trouble at all. 16 last hits against Seb's 12 and 3. And the mid matchup for now, pretty even here between Limp and Thompson. I guess both heroes with solid nukes to just sort of bounce the lane back and forth between each other.
I would imagine mid's pretty much equal to trade. They both have reliable ways to CS. They can both avoid the other person's nukes. I don't see how they could ever really deny each other much at all. This is interesting. You don't really see the DK skill build like this at all, but I guess the Keeper of the Light Chakra Magic really does enable certain wonky skill builds that are usually mana limited.
On the top half of the map, S4 still finding, not quite as much as Seb is on the respective offlane on the other side, but still not getting completely zoned out. Thanks to the presence of FNG. FNG taking the time to move over towards mid. They're going to look to try and set him onto Thompson. Thompson going to ink-swell himself, forcing Limp to jump away, keep his distance. But Thompson is very low right now. Phantom's Embrace and the nuke going to be dodged very nicely by Limp with the phase shift. And Thompson coming out on the courier. Has he got any regen? He has. So Thompson's going to have to take the walk all the way back to base. So a nice bit of pressure there from FNG on the mid, giving Limp a free wave or so.
Yeah, the pace of the game tends to ramp up a lot around the 5-minute catapults and bounties, and I've been seeing a lot of mids who end up not getting the bottle refill at 4 minutes, choose to just go back to base. Seems pretty common nowadays, so don't fret if you find yourselves in your games in a similar spot.
Back to lane now, no tail whilst the space was there. To hang around, make sure the XP wasn't missed out upon. See, for the 5-minute runes, no tail. Step up, down, bottom. Nico Baby trying to get aggressive on for Saxa. Stun will hold him back. Does he want to try and chase the call? He won't. Start to have to think about these 5-minute runes already. Chopping River, FNG. That fish here, make sure that he's able to pick it up before no tail is. And Limp coming across to get that one on their half. I mean, it's 2 for 2 on the bounties.
For my cause. Just what I've been waiting for.
All in all, a very close and passive start. Nobody yet to fall here 5 minutes in between Alliance and OG.
I like the skill build from Member. They don't really have any aggressive potential because Janglier's a relatively weak laning 5 position, and the fact that you have this really strong laning independent Ember Spirit allows for you to have this Pango. So he's kind of just choosing to go for the constant harass with Slight, but then he's going to still enable his own farm and also ways to deal with the waves so that Beastmaster can't really set up any tower pushes by going for no points in this.
Sitting around the mid lane again, FNG. Come across again, Alliance just having the superior control around these power rings. Limp able to grab that DD up. And now they've got to be on the ready here. He has hit level 6, but actually not opting for a point in the Dream Coil quite yet, Limp.
Huh. I guess that does speak to the pace of the game. Both teams, I think once they get to those timings, it's gonna be from 100 to or 0 to 100 real quick. But as of right now, it looks like this is the first time I've ever seen somebody skip ult on Puck. But if Earthshaker intends on staying mainly around the Beastmaster top, then I don't think he will ever have the solo kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, and skipping it again. Yeah, hits level 7, still not putting a point in the Dream Coil. I mean, as you say, if he doesn't need it, he doesn't need it.
This is just confidence on a hero to go this really funky skill build. Saw the DK bottom, see the Puck skipping coil here. These guys have definitely been in this spot before, and they just know what to expect coming in the next few minutes.
Top lane, S4 now with the next look out, putting a lot of pressure onto Midbot. I mean, Midbot's just down in mana. He's just dead. Okay, stick charge on the side. He gets the ribbon out, but he hasn't got enough to jump to it. I mean, that Necro Book just destroyed Midbot. He just slowly let himself get beaten down and the mana taken out. The other towards mid Limp. Trying to play aggressive in onto Thompson. TP backup coming in for OG. FNG's there on the side with Limp to back him up. He's got the DD as well here on Limp. He wants to get back instead. Stepping over to FNG, finds the setup. Extra damage coming from the stacks with the Illuminate. Limp still able to jump in and clean up the mid kill. Thompson goes down. An extra TP coming over from OG. They're bringing in Midbot. They're going to look to try and get the catch onto Limp, but Limp, he's more than fine, of course, with this skill build, as you say, no points in chain, so they don't have the setup, and Limp's able to get out of there.
I like what Alliance is doing. These early moves are really nice. They're pressuring multiple points on the map. They're getting some nice kills, but yet OG still has the lead. You can see that all three cores farming really well.
Tower is under attack.
With that haste rune just allowing him to get straight back down to the bottom lane. We'll see a farm up the blink on the DK to make sure that OG's got that solid initiation.
I take what I
You mentioned a great target for Thompson to buff up with the ink as well and have that first jump in. You know, Limp at his level 8, holding on to the point. Does have the point ready to drop if he sees an opportunity to get active, potentially on the side lanes with the Dream Coil.
The best thing about OG that the Beastmaster War, even though it got the kill on the Ember, it didn't result in a tower or loss of farm. The Pango took over the lane, they were still farming the mid lane, and we might see a repeat here, S4.
Again, just this mana burn from the Necro Books is causing such an issue here for Midpoint. It's easy kills anytime he shows in the lane here. 2 times now, S4 just he's loving life up there. Down bottom, they're going to try and make an aggressive move on to Step, setting up with the Dream Coil. Have they got enough damage to break down this Dragon Knight? Step tries to turn Hulk's back to one of them, but it's not enough to stop him from going down. Tips out as well here from Nico, baby. Top lane, hunting in the trees to see if they can get no tap to this. Again, just the power of S4 and this early Necrobook timing that you can get on the Beastmaster. I mean, I've never seen sort of the rush get so many kills. You know, sure, you know, getting it this fast, you're going to have that pressure. They've already lost 3 heroes on this top lane to the Necrobook.
Yeah, they're electing to leave the Coddle bottom and also enable the DK pressure there, rather than try to alleviate some pressure top, which is interesting. And they're definitely paying the price for it on the side of OG. But yeah, this is a 10th pick Beastmaster. Really good Beastmaster game at this stage. They have a lot of point-click targets. You roar them, they're gonna die. And also, the Earthshaker setup to make sure he can reliably get the roar off on a hero like Ember is quite nice. But just notice how OG just has so much wave. Even when they're getting these kills, they're getting these dives. Now OG's finally going to make their rotation, and DK's ultimate is at the ready, and they might be the first to take an objective, despite a lot of these early kills going forward.
See how much pressure they can put on top lane. Benji gets it again. Fisher into Raw, into Goodbye Mana. I mean, these two are just crushing this top lane. Like Midbon, he's died it 3 times now, Brian.
Yeah, that one might just be. At what point do you
Bottom lane. Ooh, I can have that blast to the side, knocks FNG away before he pops the echo. So OG able to keep the majority of them out of the range of that setup attempt. As OG, can they chase here? Alliance doing a good job of just getting away. They have lost the tower, but not losing any unnecessary heroes here, Alliance. They can just keep themselves completely out of there. Of course, with all these kills S4's got up top, he's now able to finish off the tower. And here, 11.5 minutes in, he's already got the level 3 necro.
Jesus. Third time's the charm. Do get the tower. Third kill on mid one. I wonder who they're going to have take over the top lane. Will it be one of the supports? Pangolier and Coddle are both good options. Looks like they are going to send Sock to the top. And look, if they're going to feed somebody now, at least it hopefully won't be a super high value target.
Absolutely, yeah. Midbon's got to find his space elsewhere on the map. How's his farm going? He's got the javelin, yeah, just trying to rush that Maelstrom here.
It's not in my nature, but...
To help him sort of pick his game back up as he's, understandably, with those 3 deaths that he had up there, falling a little bit behind on the Ember. Bottom step. If you can get the walk in, but TP is already coming over towards the outpost. Alliance there, more than happy to fight this. They're just going to turn them straight towards Seb. No-Tail tossing it up in the Hydra. Good angle with the rolling thunder though. No-Tail catching on to the 3 of them. Inkswell's done for up onto Lip. Can he look at Hanscap providing the heal? The face is conscious as well as this. But the chains are up. Midbon's able to lock him down. They'll kill off Limp. Nico Baby at the time will manage to get his way out. At the same time on the top half of the map, S4 picks up another. Takes out Zaxa. They may have got Limp, but they've still got 2 overall. Midbon's continuing to try and chase onto Hansken. With Nico Baby by his side, OG have to hold back. They can't dive in any further onto these 2.
It's nice to see that OG lives the same life that I live when they play against Beastmaster this patch. Whoever goes to the top lane is just gonna die. I know we all talk about the memes of the dead lane and everything, but this Beastmaster hero is ridiculous. There's this like fight going on bottom, and S4, he hasn't moved. Like, if you see his heat map, it's just top lane. That's all it is. He's been sitting there pushing it in, roaring whoever shows up when his necro book's available. And since that cooldown got reduced in 2.8, pretty much all the time.
This is some pretty flawless Beastmaster play here from S4 so far. They're going to try and make a gank onto him. No-Tail trying to close in with the Thunder. What sort of backup is there? FNG's waiting in the shadows. So there's No-Tail. He's going to be fine there. FNG not quite able to block him in with the Fisher. As No-Tail gets out, but again, those 4 of OG trying to sweep across. They really want to slow down S4's game, but unable to do so there, as S4's going to continue to have all the space that he wants up it.
That is such good map awareness from S4. He has been aggressive 15 minutes in a row, and the one time they make a move on him, he was fully aware of it. He was backing off before they even got there, and it's so important he stays alive. He's 5-0.
Yeah, this is
number 1 net worth.
It's going to be any better for him so far, and he's ready to turn it into a 6-0. He's in with the smoke with FNG. They just set him on a No-Tail. There it is. It's going to be another one for him for sure. Maybe not with the swashbuck on the slope. Still causing issues. No-Tail, he's got nowhere to roll out. The damage from these necro books, it's too much here. Another kill for S4, completely unstoppable on this Beastmaster. And hey, would you look at that? In perfect position to start having a bit of a chip at the tier 1 tower mid.
Progression from Beastmaster, you take the top tower, and eventually you look to invade the mid tower, whether you casually walk there, whether you turn it into a smoke king. Really, even though it gets denied, that's just such an important tower to take at the stage against a hero like DK, where he wants to take your mid tower. I know it's not a mid DK, but the team that takes the first mid tower makes it harder for the other team to...
Trying to hunt down Limp. Orb's already out. He's able to jump away. And we've seen this a few times now. OG tried that sweep on S4 up top. They're trying to get Limp in the jungle. Alliance doing a really good job this game of staying a bit of a step ahead of OG and making it hard for OG to make they kind of need to succeed with the lineup that they have.
Yeah, Necrobook 3 is dead, so this should just be a Freaker Tower mid, I would assume. But thus far, Alliance, like you said, their moves have been quite crisp. I would say that I don't know what they do without the Beastmaster's Book 3. That is really the hero. So glad to see they agree and they back off. Weaver, he's got, yes, Maelstrom, no boost on. Okay.
Trying to get in onto FNG. And for Seb's follow, he'll have it.
Yeah, I like this Weaver build a lot. You don't need boots necessarily when you have the IO and Sakuchi. The Sponge makes his game so much easier to play because he'll be able to much more reliably survive through that initial volley of spells, plus up the healing he gets from the IO. OG looks to want to make a move top.
Tricky one to catch though, especially with Handscan by his side, and Handscan's already ready to take him out with a relocate.
Yeah, that was never going to work, I think. Alliance just has a really good positioning on the map. Really good awareness, but Touch was always instantly ready to dodge that gank. S4 dodged the smoke gank earlier. And Hanskin, I guess that's the price they pay, and I'm sure OG kind of expected that to be the end result if IO was behind him.
Fine. So now that move, but still 9-5, just a 1k lead. It is close. Alliance.
So he's got the Boots of Travel Midas Ember version. He's going Maelstrom into Boots of Travel.
Alliance with this nice catch. One on walking up here, yeah, Raw. Down onto mid one. You're going to have Seb jump in for the backline, but the Fish is already going to finish mid one off. As mid one goes down, Seb popping the outer dragon form, opting to try and fight, but he's completely out of mana thanks to the Necro Book. And Seb, he's going to get left behind. The rest of the team bailing on him. As Seb goes down, Nico Baby getting in aggressive with the chase onto Thompson. The silence from it and the damage hit from this blade, causing NoTail to have to jump out. Thompson's also been split from their lineup as Thompson falls. Double kill for S4. As they're really struggling, OG here. Alliance just each and every time creating this impenetrable defense that OG just can't seem to fight into right now.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is a bit lazy for mid one. He just walked up a high ground with no vision, with all of Alliance missing, and it definitely requires Alliance to be properly positioned at all times to punish that sort of move, but he was #1 net worth on his team despite the rough start that he had, and he just walked up the high ground and died instantly with no impact at all. Alliance capitalizing to the max on that one. They're now up by 5,000 gold at 18 minutes.
Yeah, this is looking like such a cleaner Alliance compared to what we saw from them in the first series that they had here in the league. They definitely went away and did their homework, and they've tightened up their gameplay dramatically between that last series and what we're seeing from them now, as this is just top form Alliance here, and big smiles from S4. I mean, you can't blame him. He's 8-0-1 on his Beastmaster. He is having quite the game.
Yeah, I don't know if OG was ready for this. Alliance is playing so well. I feel like both drafts had nice win conditions, and Alliance's draft, I would say, was a bit more fragile in terms of the timings that it had to hit, the map control it had to siege early, and they are doing it.
Seb, you're looking for some sort of setup mid. Of course, so as Sken and Nico Baby there by the side, of course, Handscan ready at a moment's notice to bring Nico Baby straight into the action. Coming up soon, Seb. He's going to jump in on this. I mean, there's a relocate coming up. Okay, has got Saxon by his side, but already Lips jumped on the backline with the Dream Cross. Seb is dead. The Thunder comes out, the fishing in place. Nico Baby's going to start to poke the backline, looking towards Thompson. S4 just standing his ground with a BKB. As Nico Baby and FNG look to chase them down. Midwood's going to run, but the Echo comes down. Midwood's locked down into the silence. Midwood goes down. It's dead on OG. Thompson's trying to run. He's out of mana. He's also going to fight the speed wipe. I mean, what is OG doing? They're just making it easy for Alliance. I mean, that was a pretty wild initiation from Zedrive.
Yeah, I feel like S4 had to work really hard for his earlier kills, but the last two has been scores blinking or walking up high ground into him.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I think that Alliance has to mess up. Like, we have to make these corrective plays, and if Alliance is not ready for them, they will work. But Alliance has been in the right position, and it's just so clean.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, as you say, you know, I guess OG waiting for a mistake from Alliance. This Alliance doesn't look like it's going to make any mistakes this game. From what we've seen so far, I mean, how big their heroes are getting. So maybe the next thing you know, he's going to have his Skadi complete. And then once he has that on top of the S and Y, there's going to be more than ample time for Hanskin to just get in every single time and offer up that extra bit of heal and sustain to make it very hard for OG to ever. He's in with a tear on the mid one. Mid one's down. Roar onto Notel, holding him in place in the Rolling Thunder. And they're just chasing for more. There's just no stopping here from Alliance. Straight over to Thompson. Thompson cannot do anything here against the 4 or 5 of them surrounding him and taking him down. It's 20-5, 21 minutes in. 9k lead for Alliance as they are completely dominating OG.
When he's got the Wisp tethering him, the Necrobook move speed aura, and Sakuchi, he's at 700 plus movement speed on Nico Baby. So with that's without boots. For the record, the S&Y is actually more value because it's bonus percent movement speed, which Sakuchi is flat bonus move speed. So he's getting like basically more than boots out of an S&Y. We are concerned about Weaver's survivability in tandem with his lack of damage early, but he has this Inflaw as a nice neutral item, and he's able to skip the boots, so his other timings are coming online much earlier. Weaver does suffer with regen. He's a hero that usually has to go for like a Falcon Blade or an earlier Lincoln Spear against a hero like DK. This IO is definitely enabling Nico Baby to just go for all of these luxurious items that feel really nice about.
See bottom. I mean, Mid1 tries to go in onto FNG, but links in with the back. Backup calls down. Mid1 getting burst low. Notel in with the Rolling Thunder to provide some safety for Mid1. He ticks down low. They do get FNG over to the side. Thompson was trying to join the team, but S4 puts him in position with the Roar. Saxon trying to get the TP out. Is he going to make it away? He does. Only just, but again, Thompson dying. S4 continues to just sort of take whatever he wants it each and every time. The Roar's guaranteeing a kill, and there's no save from OG. As soon as S4 opens up onto someone, it's an easy kill for Alliance.
Hanskin has pinged Seb here. They obviously don't see him based on what we see with their wards, but they know that Seb was not at that fight, and he must be somewhere else, and there's not too many options left. Seb cleans up the triangle, trying to complete his BKB. I think that fight honestly wasn't that bad for OG. All things considered, there were a lot of narrow escapes coming out from them, and in the meantime, Seb was completing a crucial item on the other side of the map. So this may be go time. I don't really know when there's a better go time for OG. BKB from DK, he has Blink BKB at this point. I don't even know if it's enough to raw damage now. Might just be too overwhelming, despite the fact that DK was meant to be tanky in this game.
Yeah, I know, just Nico, baby, so huge. I mean, we're 24 minutes in. Maelstrom S&Y Skadi, as we saw there on the numbers, just under 3 minutes faster than what you can normally expect to see on a Weaver. They're looking for a fight here, Alliance. And that's Seb. He's going to try and start it. They're trying to get rid of Hanskin, see if they can burst into the combo. But the Roar's out onto Thompson. Hanskin's still alive. Seb, can he finally finish him off? He can. Notel comes in with a Rolling Thunder. They get the kill, but Thompson's going to fall for the Necrobook. They've got the chains onto S4. Follow-up Dragon Tail's done from Seb, but there's the coverage from FNG. Lays down the fish trap. Stops them from being able to kill off S4. As OG again just losing another horrendous team fight for themselves. They lose 4, they only get Hanskin, and they really have to throw everything onto the IO to even get that kill at all.
You know, I've had some casual Dota players come in and say, I feel like I can't have much impact in the offlane. I feel like I'm always reliant upon my team to carry me, and I feel like S4 is shutting that notion down. Like, I can't believe this. This is insane performance. 12-0-5. This is how you carry a freaking game from the offense.
Yeah.
Last pick, they trusted him to do exactly this by giving him his last pick. I guess he gave himself last pick, so he trusted himself. Hey, you don't have faith in yourself? that's important too. But I don't know, man. This is such good play. Like they're dying to his stuff on the ground, and it's enabling so much to happen with these squishy heroes we were concerned about. They're not so squishy when the threats are all just dead.
Tom just caught outside of the base. Nico Baby's going to chase him up. He's dead. There's going to be a buyback from Saxter. They're trying to turn this around. No-Tail looking for the angle in with the Thunder, but look, he's only got the magic ability out. Good to go. Stands his ground. It's going to be Mid-One out for the count. He has got a buyback. No-Tail trying to TP away. They're going to be able to kill him before he's even out of there. As No-Tail's out of the game. Seb and Saxter just getting pushed back to the fountain here by Nico Baby. As there seems to be very little that OG can do right now to hold Alliance back. 29-7, 18k lead. 26 minutes in Alliance, they're taking the top racks. Tier 3's down, racks are exposed. It doesn't seem like OG can hold this at all. I mean, he's got nothing here. He's out to run, but they're underneath the tier 4s. It's getting messy. It's getting very, very messy here. As again, you know, this is so different to the Alliance that we saw the other day. This is the Alliance that the fans expected to see, and my goodness, they're getting a show right here in Game 1 against OG.
That might have been the funniest use of Echo Slam I've ever seen. FNG, no blink, but just a shard. And Echo Slam to keep the Aftershock stun on Thompson so he wasn't able to cast any of his spells. Yeah, the GG's call absolutely outplayed by Alliance OG there. I thought both drafts were very nice. The